How do we clean the griddle? So there are two separate cleanings, as we like to define it as. There's a cleaning that I have to do every single time that I'm done cooking, and then my deep clean that I can do once a month, once every other month, once every 4 months. As you continue to cook on the griddle, you're going to build seasoning and patina over time, just like a cast iron pan. You're going to treat this griddle surface over time. It will patina out, just like the single one back here. You're going to build up all that, the layers of non-stick capability. So as far as cleaning, once I'm done with the tuna, I'll show you what we have to do every single time to make sure my pancakes in the morning don't taste like my tuna. While my tuna is searing, with the show of pans, who can tell me that they really enjoy scrubbing saute pans? That's what I figured. That seems to be a very common answer. So, how many saute pans do you think I would need to cook all this tuna at once? And they are all perfect, they're all seasoned and crispy. Not one is different than the other. At least 5, right? 4 saute pans, right? As we just discussed, we hate cleaning them. Cleaning this griddle after this tuna is done is going to take me a whole 1.5 minutes, as opposed to cleaning all 5 saute pans at once, right? The reason we were able to cook all this tuna and it holds and retains that heat, because we don't use a gas line that runs underneath the griddle or an electric coil that snakes through. We use a infrared ceramic brick, and on the dual griddle, I have 2 of them, a left and a right. That infrared ceramic brick makes sure that back corner there, the center, every piece of this griddle is one consistent temperature. All right, we've all been to that restaurant where we happen to order the crab cakes and the neighboring table next to you orders the same dish. You paid $50 for them for a pair of crab cakes. They come at the same time and you look at your neighbor's table and like, hey, theirs look nicer than mine. Doesn't that get you angry? Now imagine doing that in a live cooking demonstration. I have 0 room for error. Every single piece of tuna is going to be exactly the same because we use that thick cold rolled steel. I know exactly what temperature it is, and those infrared ceramic bricks give me an even blanket of heat. As I mentioned before, cooking is nothing but transferring heat. There's a reason why Wolf, or we call ourselves the master of transferring heat, simply because you can see up front even, that tuna's turning from that pink color to opaque. It's transferring through, right? With the 48 inches, you get the dual griddle. You can cook anything and everything. The griddle is nothing but a large saute pan. You can still, so that's kind of a little trick question. I can cook everything. What do you think I can't cook or would be really difficult to try and cook on a griddle? Soup, yeah. If I poured some chicken broth or vegetable stock onto the griddle, obviously it's not going to go, or it's going to go everywhere. But one other big Wolf difference is, I can take my, let's say this is a pot, I can put my pots and pans directly on the griddle if I ever run out of that space. So, or I can put a very big pot, turn my left and right to 450, now I can do a huge pot of pasta, big sauce. Or I have lots of little pots, I can turn it down to 150, keep them nice and warm. Everything and anything on the griddle. But it's been about 3.5 minutes. First thing you notice, it's not sticking. Right, you guys remember playing air hockey growing up? Right, that's because we preheated it, we used the right oil, and we did nothing. Every single piece of tuna is going to be exactly the same. No one's going to fight over the nicer piece. Say that nice and loud for me one more time.
So, sometimes when you turn it over, is there the dry spot on the griddle and then the other side is very well?
So how do I make sure my whole griddle is covered in enough fat to make it not stick? So if you notice, right when I started, I saw a couple people go, oh, that's a lot of oil. Well, that's a huge pan. Plus that oil is going to slowly drip down here to this tray. But as I flip it, there's already enough fat coating it where it shouldn't stick. This is just like any salted tuna. It takes about 4.5 minutes total cooking time. I'm going to have Chef Patrick take this tuna off for us. He's going to slice it and plate it onto our salad. While Patrick is plating here, I'm going to talk over our griddle cleaning. I have to do this cleaning every single time I'm done cooking, whether it's pancakes or tuna or stir fry. First, you're gonna turn your griddle to the off position. While it's still warm, you can use a flat top spatula just like so, or you can even use a paint scraper. But the first thing I'm gonna do is scrape off any fond that did build up onto the griddle. Any oil that was gathered up from the cooking process you're gonna drag it down into my tray below. So for demonstration purposes, I didn't go every single corner, but once you're done here, while it's still warm, you're gonna take your designated griddle towels, just like your cast iron pan, you're gonna wipe off any excess oil, all that debris in this tray. This tray is removable. It catches all your oil, all your debris. You're done cooking. This has to get washed, hot soapy water, not dishwasher safe, every single time you're done cooking. So let's pretend I just took a whole 2 minutes, washed it out. Now I'm gonna let this cover come to room, or this griddle come to room temperature. Let's again pretend this is room temperature. You're gonna put your cover on that comes with every single griddle standard. Then you're gonna step back, take a sip of wine, and ask yourself, what mess? This cover covers up all of that, your patina and seasoning that builds up over time. I'm gonna remove it because it's still warm down there. But the next time I turn it on, it's gonna continue to work and re-season over and over, just like your cast iron pan. It is up to you to scrub this once a week, once a month, once every 3 months. Or this one has been scrubbed in about 5.5 months at this point. I just continue to build it just like your cast iron pan.